Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's question comes from somebody who wrote in and they want to know, what is your worst housekeeping chore, and how do you manage to get it done? Well, over the years being a house cleaner, I've created a lot of systems. And so everybody in my house is trained, we have routines, we have systems, everything kind of happens naturally. When you wake up in the morning, you make your bed, that's just what you do. When you take your clothes off, you hang them up or you put them in the hamper. That's just what you do. When you take a shower and you are done with your towel, you hang it up or it goes in the hamper. That's just the way it is. And so everyone is trained to follow the systems and follow the rules. However, there's one chore that I really dislike, and it's cooking. And I refuse to cook. And when I moved away from home, my mom made sure that I knew how to cook because she wanted to make sure that I could catch a husband. She said the way to a man's heart is through his belly. And so she wanted to make sure that I knew how to cook. Okay, so I do know how to cook, but shh, don't tell my husband because he doesn't know this. We've been married 15 years and this is not a good time for him to find out that I actually know how to cook. So I don't cook, and I choose not to cook because our schedules collide. And so we're never at home at the same time, and it would be next to impossible to have a hot meal on the table, for example, when my husband got home from work. Our schedules just are like two ships passing in the night. So for me, what I do is I cook one day a month, and I go to Costco and I buy all of my food in bulk. And there's a lot of food. I mean, like they have 5-pound bags of spinach, and you're not going to eat that in one setting. And so what I do is I have 9 crock pots and I lay them out on the counter, and I do all my food prep, and I make several different recipes at the same time. When I have all the carrots, all the potatoes, all the corn, all the beans, whatever it is that I'm mixing together, I make all these individual meals. And once they're cooked, it takes about 4 hours to do this one day a month. I have small containers, and I have a 4-ounce container and an 8-ounce container. And these just have the snap-on and the screw-on lids. And so I break all the food down and I put it away in these small containers. And then these go inside gallon Ziploc bags because they don't stack very well if they're in the freezer. And so I can fit 10 of these in a gallon Ziploc bag, and I just group them by item. So one may be a casserole, one may be a different kind of casserole, one may be a soup, whatever it is. And I put them in 4-ounce containers. Then these containers I then serve for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so my system is simple. I have a little collection of tape. This is just painter's tape that I bought at the Home Depot. And don't worry about taking notes. I will put all of the links to this in the show notes. And I don't say this very often, but there are show notes for every show that we do. So don't worry about taking notes if you're driving in your car because all the show notes are at your fingertips. Okay, so this is painter's tape in 4 different colors. And you'll notice that on the top of this lid, there's a piece of yellow tape. So the yellow tape means breakfast. This is a breakfast item. This one has a red piece of tape. This means it's a lunch item. And so the 4 different colors that I have are red, green, yellow, and blue. So yellow is for breakfast, blue is for dinner, red is for lunch, and green are for snacks. And so all the containers, as you go through the freezer, you'd say, oh wow, this is yellow, this is a breakfast item. And then this is for 2 people, like if the 2 of us are eating together, this is what I would heat up as one of the items. So there's 2 people serving, 1 people serving. And this is the 8-ounce and the 4-ounce. So for your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you get a 4-ounce. And if it's 2 people having dinner, and I'm going to heat this up for both of us, then I use the 8-ounce. And so in your lunch every day, you might have 6 or 7 of these little containers that have different colors of tape on them. And so every day, and this is great for if I'm out of town and I'm speaking at a conference or something and my husband is by himself, he's trained to go out and open the freezer. And I have 2 freezers. I have an indoor freezer and an outdoor freezer in my garage, where he can go out and he can say, I need 2 yellow items, I need 2 green items, I need 2 blue items, and 2 red items. And so that would be his food for the day, and that allows him to pack his lunch. So it makes it super simple as far as portion control and as far as knowing what you're going to eat for the day, because you can look at all your food for the day in 8 little containers and maybe a smoothie. And that's enough food to get you every couple of hours through the day so that your blood sugar levels don't dip. And because it's food that we created at the house, it's organic food or it's home created food so that you're not eating out at a restaurant and spending a whole lot of money doing that. So it's cost effective, it's efficient, it's healthy, and ideally it would be raw, but it's impossible to serve raw food when you're not cooking and you're not preparing meals all day, every day. But that has allowed me to work on the road and to travel and to do the things that I do. My husband, who's gone significant amounts of every day, it allows him to eat healthy when he's on the road too. And so it works out really well for me to only do the cooking one day a month. And that prevents me from cooking every day, which could take up, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour of my time every single day. So it's a way to streamline my time and to still do the household chores that I don't like. Because cooking, although it's a fun activity and I don't mind doing it, it's not something I choose to do every day. And so I have given myself permission not to cook. And so, like I say, I don't think my husband really even knows that I know how to cook. But we do have good, healthy meals every day as a result of just the cooking one day a month. And that is how I manage that particular not so fun chore for me. Alrighty, and that's my tip for today. Now I'm curious, what is your least favorite household chore and how do you manage it? This is a chance for you to leave a message in the notes below. Just communicate with me, let me know what's going on. And who knows, maybe we share some similar disinterests. Until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.